keep my energy calibrated. Only show up so they know I made it. On my time mentally hydrated. When I touch down, they celebrating. I keep my energy calibrated. Only show up so they know I made it. On my time mentally hydrated. When I touch down, they celebrating. I keep my energy.
It's your girl, Coco Renee, and this is an all-new episode of the Let's Talk About It segment on the Fourth Quarter Talk podcast. Let's get it. It's your girl, Coco Renee, from the Midday Boss Show on Rise Radio, the global station, and the Liquid Lunch Mix on Liquid Radio. Thank y'all so much for joining me and tuning in to my all-new podcast, the Fourth Quarter Talk. Now, my co-host, really my guest host, the Real King Covenant, he's not able to join us on this particular episode, but you guys can check out our upload earlier today, and where he is speaking and he is talking about, Black America, who raised you. That's the name of that segment, and we will get a little bit more into that later. But first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to the Real King Covenant. Shouts out to you, bruh, for holding it down, keeping it real, always, just keeping it real authentic. And we need something like that on this platform. It's really, really important to me to make sure that the platform that I have created is built on really the truth, putting information out there, exposing the things that we know need to be exposed. And you know what? It might not roll over so well with the upper, echelon people, in the eyes in the skies. And I ain't talking about God. We're talking about the other ones that be watching and hearing and tapping into everything that we do. However, as God has created us to be the people we are, to be conscious thinkers, to rise, we're his children. We're the heir of the throne. It's a lot of things, a lot of information out there that has been distorted and has been completely turned around, twisted, and really have confused us as a whole, as a culture of people where we are completely lost. We have no culture whatsoever. We're completely broken. We're dysfunctional in every way. And so earlier today at 6, we created the podcast, first episode on the Fourth Quarter Talk podcast called Black America, Who Raised You. And I think it's important for us to really get into the actuality of a lot of us weren't raised, a lot of us was brought up. And if you guys want to hear a little bit more about it, just to kind of get an idea of where we're going, check it out. But I just wanted to simply say thank you for those who are supporting the movement. This is a new movement for us. The Fourth Quarter Talk is really an extension of my motivation movements that I've been doing for almost 2 years on YouTube. And you can catch those at Official Coco Renee on YouTube channel and Midnight Bosses Entertainment channel as well. And I have, numerous video uploads just talking about, everything in the spiritual realm, dealing with God, dealing with the children of Israel. And so now we decided, let's go ahead and mix it up a little bit, because we have a lot of us are in the entertainment industry. A lot of us are servants in the entertainment industry. And it's a lot of us that are slaves to the entertainment industry as well. And I think because of the lack of knowledge, we are not all woke as a people. And our culture is so damaged and so broken from the systematic oppression that the government has set up generations and centuries ago, that it just continues to maintain its brokenness. America, as we all know, was never ever built on truth and was never built on honesty. We know America has always been built on lies. It's always been built on the blood, sweat, and tears of the indigenous people. And we also really know that they have created and have made this systematic world where everything is really programmed to the point where we have to question our foods. We have to question our doctors. We have to question, job opportunities. We have to question where we're going to live in our communities. We have to question everything, because we know that there is a bottom line agenda, and that is to exterminate us. And we'll get into that in more episodes to come, and we'll talk about why we're such a threat. Okay, but if you want to catch some of our other episodes where we go into depth of some of those conversations, you guys can check us out on Instagram at the Real King Covenant, as well as the Real Coco Renee. You can also check out the uploads the earlier uploads before the podcast here, and that is on the Midnight Bosses Entertainment channel on YouTube. So those are the 3 platforms. You can also check us out on Facebook at The Fourth Quarter Talk. So we have 4 platforms before we started doing this podcast where we've already been distributing and uploading, these conversation pieces, talking and discussing all of these issues, our concerns as Black people in America and just around the world in general, because it's not just America, but since we reside here in this particular country, we're focusing on our issues here within our country. However, we know all four corners of the world. We're everywhere. We're spread everywhere. Bible tells us we're spread everywhere. And once God has spread us everywhere and had created, Babel and mixed us up in our language, we have been a hot mess ever since, and honestly, God did it to test us. He did it to see, what our will would be, what side were we going to choose? Are we going to be on his side? Are we going to seek the truth? Are we going to fight to gain understanding and knowledge and, be awoken to what's going on around us? Or are we going to continue to be the sleeping sheep? And I'm going to tell you, God didn't build me to be a sleeping sheep. He built me to be a person that has a message and a message that needs to be put out there. And I cannot be afraid of what other people think of it. I cannot be afraid of people who do not understand it. It's a lot of people out there that want to tell you that they can relate to you, but they've never walked a day in your shoes. They are not a part of your culture. They're not a part of the heritage. They're not a part of the throne. They're not the heir. They have no clue. They're the Gentiles. And they continue to tell us that we're the Gentiles and we're not the Gentiles, okay? Just to be clear. But I'm not going to get into that because we have plenty of time to discuss that. Now, we also have fun on the show too. It's not all, seriousness, but, just to be real, we want to cover topics that don't get covered. And we're not here for the gossip. We're not here to tell you the hot topics. This is not the Wendy Williams show. Bottom line is we are here to talk about the truth, speak on the truth, elaborate. We're not here for the negativity either. We want to talk about things that we can do within our community to grow and what can we do individually to play a part. Because of course we can't all boil the ocean. All of us, one individual doesn't have the power to change the whole entire world. However, one individual could definitely scratch the surface. And therefore, we are going to do this one individual at a time until we get enough woke soldiers out there to represent as God has intended. He told us in the scriptures to go and spread and teach his word and the gospel to the nation. It wasn't just meant for, one person. It was meant for the whole entire nation to gain knowledge. Gentiles and Jews too. So at the end of the day, we are here to spread the word. We're here to educate. We're here to be innovators. We're here to uplift. We're here to motivate. We're here for all of that. But I just want to make sure that it is clear that this platform is not for everybody. Now, you are more than welcome to join in the conversation, but this conversation is not a debate and it is not to be disputed. This is the experiences that we go through as people of color. And I know other people who are not of color don't understand it. They will never understand it, and therefore they will disregard it, and they will tell you it's, I understand. I went through this, and they have no clue because they've really never walked in the shoes. They've always had the opposition, and that's being entitled. Like they say, it's you got the complexion for the protection. So we don't have that complexion for the protection. We know that we are in positions where we have to just pray through every single situation and hope that God Almighty allows us to be a illuminating source of his in whatever environment he places us in, whatever atmosphere, wherever he places us in life. We just have to pray that he allows us to elevate. He allows us to levitate. He allows us to go as far as he needs us to go to put his message out there. We're not doing this for us. This is really just to speak to the sleeping people out there to wake them up. But we're going to do this in a very, very strategic way because We understand that there are higher ups in positions that are not as high as God. They're way below God, but they're high enough to know what people are doing, what time they're doing it, how they're doing it. We know what the business is. We know it's always the eyes in the sky. And of course, like I said, it ain't God that we're talking about, because God is in a whole nother dimension, a whole nother realm. So he's beyond the skies. He's beyond the heavens. But the people who are under the heavens, but above the sky, those are the ones that we have to look out for. And therefore, we cannot allow ourselves to continue to fall silent and allow people to continue to just kill us off and not ever be heard. This battle is not a physical battle. It is a spiritual battle. People must understand. Spiritual wise, this battle is to be served through God. This battle is to be, I guess you could say, fought through the word of God and the gospel and the scriptures, and just really knowing who the Lord is, what his position is, what his purpose is, and knowing what your purpose is and what your gift is and what your attribute is to his movement. This movement is not ours, it's his. And truth be told, the battle's already won, done, and over, but we're just living it out. And because this is our first time going through these experiences individually and living it out, we have to go through the process. This is like training, being on earth. It's like training and getting prepared for the ends of this world, and then to see what's going to happen when it comes, and if we're going to make it to the other side of it. And if we do make it to the other side of it, we'll be well prepared, because we have spent all of our lifetime training and going through the process and prepping for it. So the fourth quarter talk is going to bring you a lot of different elements. It's a very interesting show, to say the least, but it's going to be amazing because it will give you insight in such a way that you never even thought. And we will keep you motivated and uplifted, because this is not a place for negativity. This is not a place for the naysayers. This is not a place for, the haters. This is a place just to uplift our people and keep them empowered. So when they feel it in their lowest form in the flesh, we can keep their spirits so high that the flesh doesn't even matter. And that's the thing, we want to make sure that you're not living, mentally in your flesh. We want to make sure mentally you are going according to the spirit and the law of God. But, we're not all saints on this show. We are unfiltered. We are uncensored. We speak it how it is. We lay it all out on the table. And this is real talk. And the fourth quarter talk is all about living in the last quarter. We're living in the last days. And therefore, we have to have a conversation piece about what these last days may be. We see what's going on in the world. We see the chaos that they're constantly putting in our face, because it's a part of the program. So they're constantly putting the program and running it through media. And that's why we're stepping in to engage with our people to tell you, stop feeding into the crap, because there's so many different things that's out there that you guys a lot of people don't even know. And it's going to cause a lot of confusion, because if you don't know and you have not been educated or informed, you're going to be asleep when it happens, and you're going to fall prey. And we are here to try to save as many as we can in the name of the Holy One. On that note, your girl's got to go. So don't forget to check me out and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Official Coco Renee, at The Real Coco Renee. And don't forget to follow The Fourth Quarter Talk on Facebook at The Fourth Quarter Talk, and my co-host, The Real King Covenant, on Instagram at The Real King Covenant. Again, you can check out our early podcast on Midnight Bosses Entertainment channel. And again, that's on YouTube. Until the next time, I see y'all. Peace.
I keep my energy calibrated. Only show up so they know I made it. On my time mentally, I ain't traded. When I touch down, they celebrating. I keep my energy calibrated. Only show up so they know I made it. On my time mentally, hydrated. When I touch down, they celebrating. I keep my energy calibrated.